Well, it's called Random Crap Week, and, yeah, crap is right. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep this one interesting, but I said that about some of the previous games, so who knows. So yeah, this is Wormmate. I'm not going to ever share with friends, so I'm never going to get skins, apparently. As for why this, I don't know. It appears to be like some sort of Valentine's Day event, even though it's May. I really couldn't tell you. So, I don't really have an idea of how well-known this game is. I imagine it's somewhat well-known. But, so I learned of it it was in my Facebook feed, and it wasn't because, somebody shared it so they could get new skins. It was just, there was some guy that would always show up in my feed, like, at this point I think it was like a year or two ago. I guess I should also mention, like, I was a very late adopter of Facebook, and I've never used it for its intended purpose. I only joined it so that I could, be in the Beanie group. And that was basically what I used it for a few years. And then I eventually started just kind of, like, doom-scrolling the homepage and getting mad at the stuff that I see on there. And that is more or less my experience with the site. But yeah, there was just some guy would always be streaming this. I don't think I even see streams on that site anymore, but I at least used to. It was always just some guy. I think he was Irish. He had some sort of accent. I think it was Irish. And he would always just be playing this. And I watched for a while, and that, apparently it got me to play the game for whatever fucking reason. But the only thing I remember about him is that he would always, like, so, I'm moving around, I'm just kind of collecting candy and shit. So far, this is basically not a video game. But, you've seen other worms around occasionally. Here's a big one. These are all other players. You can see up in the top right, there's, like, the current leaderboard. These are all people in the same map. And the goal is just, to become the biggest worm that you can by eating as much food as you can. But the little pieces of food that you get are not, like, they don't do much. Where your points really come from is killing other players and making them turn into food, which gives you a lot of points. And so, basically, you can kind of bully smaller ones, usually. And if you're really good at the game, which I'm not, you can try to fuck up the giant ones. Because all it takes to kill a player is they just have to run into the side of your body. So if you can just kind of, like, very sharply turn and cut them off, then that could be very advantageous for you. And there I go. Excellent. But yeah, the only thing I remember about this guy is every time another player would die and it would spawn a bunch of food, he'd always go, "Oh, he's in the bin!" That is my experience with this game. So yeah, I'll play this for a bit. I was hoping that I could make an entire video out of this one. Apparently that dude somehow made a career out of streaming it repeatedly. No idea how, but I guess, let me just keep going in a circle here. I don't know. The only other thing I can really discuss about this game is just these power-ups. So, not all of them do obvious things. That one that I just collect is just a camera zoom out. It just helps for visibility. There's a little radar in the top left that shows your relative position, because there is, like, an edge to the map. Looks like I'm in the top right, I think. Yeah. It's just a big circle. I don't know how useful this radar is, or really even what the gray zones are. I assume that's just where food is, but I mean, food's everywhere. It literally spawns, like, all over the damn place. Oh, he's in the bin! Oh, get that nom! I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea what his username was or anything, so I'm just making fun of this dude, and he's powerless to stop it. Can I please get the shit? Okay. What else do you say about this game? I don't know. So yeah, there's a magnet that pulls stuff closer to you. At the top, there's a couple score multipliers. Oh, shit. I think I clicked outside the window for a second. That would have been bad. That AE that I picked up lets you turn more tightly, which can be quite useful. I think it's supposed to just be like a worm kind of moving in a knot shape. It's not actually the letters AE, but that's what it looks like. But yeah, the only control you have in this game is just it moves to where your mouse cursor is, and you can click to move faster. The only reason you wouldn't want to constantly move faster is it drains your score, I think. Like, let's see, if I'm moving without collecting anything... I mean, I'm kind of getting stuff here. Let's see. 82, 81... Yeah, it like spends your points to move fast. So you don't want to hold it all the time, but if you're near a bunch of food or if you've got multipliers, then you kind of might as well do it, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not a pro. I haven't played this game that many times. What I would like to do is get to a point in this where I can get huge and, you know, try to fuck with some other players here, but we'll see if that happens. I don't like being caught between these two big guys. Is there going to be a dead end at the end of this? Probably. I don't think I should go that way. I might be able to just kind of wait it out until this guy moves past. The problem is not knowing how long the body is. It's gotta end someday, right? Unless he's doing a circle, of course. Yeah, right now I'm ranked 78, which is not particularly good. I've gotten up into the top 10 before. I don't remember exactly what my highest position was. It might have been like 3. It's very easy to just make a stupid mistake and fuck up, especially when you get super big and... dumbass. You start getting cocky and... oh, Jesus. It's very easy to, like, just kind of get greedy and start trying to attack other players when you don't really have to. Like, if you're fucking gigantic and there's a little worm right next to you, like, you're not gonna get much from killing it. You might as well just kind of let them live. Oh, jeez. This is probably not good. Am I being circled? Is that what's happening here? I might be screwed. Maybe not. No. Here's just a new Brazilian worm. Let's see if can we escape past this guy. Also, I like how this is another one of those no sound effects games. What it really needs is to have the like Wumpa fruit noise every time you collect anything, so just constantly like... And you can just have the music from Nanaka Crash too. Speaking of which, in the Nanaka Crash video, there was the point where I showed make the world a better place, and I said like I was gonna let that run for a while and check back if it ever progressed. I totally forgot to do that in the video, And afterward, I did check it, and it did not progress. So, you kind of would just have to leave it running for ages. And I'm not going to bother doing that. Here's... Oh, what the fuck? How did they die? There was nothing there. Maybe they just loaded the game up. Ooh. Loaded the game up, got bored, and then just closed it. And their body just turned into, Nom, as that one guy would put it. Bullying smaller worms when I really don't have any reason to. Well done. Okay. This guy is quite a bit bigger than me. I probably need to be a little bit careful. I was hoping to see if I could, like, get lucky and ram him there, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. You know what another thing is that I've had bad luck with in this game? There is actually an advantage to having a custom skin, believe it or not. Because if you're playing as a generic color like this, if there's another worm near you that's like the exact same color, it's really hard to tell what is your body and what is theirs. Now, you can kind of tell, like right now I'm clicking, and so I've got this aura pulsing around my body, and if I let go, it stops pulsing. So you can kind of do that to tell, but it's not the greatest option. So there have been times where, like, my body in this, like, my body is just gigantic, and I think I'm crossing back over it at some point, and no, okay, that was just another one that was the same color as me, and I died for no reason. Awesome. I don't think I want to go that one. Oh! Oh, he's in the bin! Oh, look at that! Get all the gnome! I'm starting to think he wasn't Irish, and he just was a very excitable, high-pitched Britishman. Britishman. That's what I'm going with. I wonder what that guy's doing now. Is that a firefox? Oh god. What? It's like a meteor with a... It almost looks like the fire in my laser face on that. You can't see it anymore. There's a worm below me. Oh! Oh my god. Okay, I gotta capitalize on this as much as possible. Quickly. Get the shit. Get all the shit. Alright, oh, obviously I need to go after that little turd next to me there. That's important. Guessing all the other stuff in this direction is gone. So there was like a couple trails, I had to just pick one and hope. By the way, there's other stuff I've been collecting. Like, so the green one with the arrows does what you'd probably expect. It just makes your, like, dashing speed faster. I have no fucking clue what some of this other stuff does. There's the one that looks like a lock. Like that thing. I don't know what that is. It might just be, like, a high-value food item. Same thing for, like, the gold coin. That I assume is like a holiday event thing. I think I tried to actually look that up at one point and couldn't find anything. You'd think that there would be decent documentation for these things, but alas. Am I getting circled here? Is this blue and white one? I think I'm getting circled here. Now, I don't know if this is an intentional circle. This is definitely an intentional circle. Okay, I tried to fuck him over. It didn't work. I think because of this, my best chance for survival... God, I have to hope that this guy just dies. Which is probably not gonna happen. I can stay ahead of him like this, but... Planted, and I'm dead. Damn it. That was a semi-decent run. The best way that I've found to play this game is just to be lucky. To spawn in just right next to where somebody died. And just, you know, completely benefit off of all their spoils and immediately jump from the bottom of the totem pole to, like, you know, rank 20 instantly. It would be cool if I could get that to happen. Oh, excellent. That was a good run. Honestly, I might end up just having to play this for a bit. Like, I'll do a little bit longer live without me cutting or anything, but I might just kind of keep going and hope that I can get a good run and try to get it on camera. I don't know. You've basically seen the game. I was trying to think of other stuff to do for the Random Crap Week. Like, my thing is, I kind of wanted to do games that I knew about already. I wasn't specifically taking recommendations. I feel like it's just kind of more interesting that way if it's, like, stuff I already know about personally. I did a little bit of digging. I looked through a very old notepad file of mine. So I guess here's just me going off on a random tangent for like 10 minutes probably. That'll fill some time while I, you know, pointlessly wander around and eat macaroons. But, how do I explain this? I used AOL for a longer time than is socially acceptable. I think most people, if they ever used it, only used it in the very early dial-up days because they, you know, it's what they had and that's all they knew. And then eventually just kind of moved to a different browser. I continued to use it for quite a while after that, I think until like 05, maybe 06. And the thing is, like, I don't actually know how you got on the internet using other browsers back in the day, because when you had a modem, you had to specifically go through, well, you know, not, modem still exists, but, you know, when you had a dial-up modem, you had to go through the whole process of it doing the crap, like, you know, that was a process, and I don't think opening an Internet Explorer window would do that. I think you had to, like, maybe have some other program that connected for you, and it probably wasn't difficult, but it was something that I never did. I, you know, had AOL from the beginning, basically, and that was the internet. You log in, and there's a button for your email, and there's a little thing on the right that has your buddy list, and, you know, the messages pop up, and you kind of have, like, all these little windows that you can resize and, you know, have, like, your browsing window and have the little message off to the side and all that, and it was all very self-contained. Oh, fuck off. I swear I'm almost getting to a point here. So, when I got my first laptop in 2005, that was during the living in hotels age, and, I was still using AOL. I had to... Oh, look at that! Oh! Wasn't a super big worm, but it, you know, helped me get up quite a bit. Anyway. Oh, that guy just, you know, went speeding headlong into a bunch of bullshit. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, God. Oh, he's in the bin! Oh! What the fuck was I saying? Something about AOL? Yeah, I still use AOL at that. I had to, like, plug the laptop into an Ethernet port. Wireless just didn't exist for me for a very long time. I've told people before that I just kind of, like, didn't believe in it. Because, in my experience, it didn't exist. There were multiple times where I tried to use wireless internet, and it didn't fucking work. And when I got this laptop in 05... By the way, this is totally off topic. This has nothing to do with what I was originally talking about. When I originally got this laptop, this was already at a point where I think it was expected that it would just have a wireless card already built into it, and you wouldn't have to do anything special to connect to the internet. But that was not the case for mine. And at one of the hotels that we were staying at, they had they let you rent a wireless card. I'm not sure if this concept is even, like, remembered by people now, and I don't know a better way to describe it, but it was a big fuck-off, flat piece of shit card that you just crammed into the side of the thing, and, if there was Wi-Fi, then you could connect to it. So I rented one of those once. It didn't work for shit. Like, I think it would connect when it wanted to, but it was the spottiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I had similar experiences more than that one time. So for a long time, I'm basically just like, yeah, no, wireless is just, it's fake. It claims to exist, but it doesn't fucking work. Anyway, that had nothing to do with what I was talking about. Point is, I used AOL. AOL had had its favorites list. It was called favorites, not bookmarks. And at some point, when I switched from using AOL to using Firefox, because I was no longer on dial-up and I could actually use, like, proper cable internet, I had no reason to stick with AOL, and I basically got bullied out of using it because people made fun of me online a lot. Oh, look at that, mate! Oh, Jesus. Is it already all gone? Can I bully this dude? Probably not the smartest idea. I don't think I can do it. I'm sorry, I love how I go into that voice whenever that happens. So, yeah. People would make fun of me for using AOL. My signature on GameFAQs for a long time was, this post was brought to you by Grizzlebees. You'll wish you had less fun. And at some point I linked to an image that a screenshot I had taken that showed that I used AOL, and people made fun of me. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with it, shut up. And I changed the sig for that one post to be like, this post was brought to you by AOL. It works just fine. Yeah, when I switched to Firefox, I wanted to keep all of the favorites I had saved. And so I just made a text file called AOLfavorites.txt. Did that guy just die? Huh. Oh, yeah, there we go. And I have an interesting history with the files on my computer, because I have shit from as far back as 05. And it's astonishing that I do. Because I had that laptop, which that was the one that I eventually started referring to as the Tandy, because it was the one that, like, broke down and, like, the screen fucking fell off and had stripes all over it, and the hinges were broken, and, like, I ended up tearing off the space bar because it stopped working, and so I would just have to, like, press the contact point underneath it. Those were good times. Then I got the other one that had the really loud, obnoxious beep whenever the power cord would become unplugged. And so I was able to move all my files between those. I'm trying to remember, like, because I kind of juggled those two computers for a while, but I think I basically just kind of I want to say whenever I like would make new files, I would kind of keep them in a way to where I could easily move them into a flash drive and then, like, you know, put those on the other one to make sure that it was up to date, so I had all my stuff. And then, so I had all that stuff, and then that got transferred into, you know, another laptop after that, and from there, I'm trying to think of the exact timeline here. In, like, 2015, when me and Martin moved to Texas, at this point, I think I had I hadn't had most of my old files in a long time. I figured that they were all just gone because of just various computer issues happening and just kind of losing track of things. And that sucked because there was a lot of stuff on there that I liked. Old memories and stuff. And where the hell was I going with this? Shortly after moving in with Joel, we were kind of just going through some shit, and he needed a flash drive for something, I think, and we had, like, I want to say it was a Wii carrying case. I don't know what the fuck you use a carrying case for with a Wii, but it was Wii branded, and it was some sort of, like, you know, cloth bag. And inside that bag was an empty coffee can, and inside the coffee can was a flash drive. We knew it was in there. That was a known entity. Well, there were a few flash drives in there, and he grabs one of them to use it for something, and he's like, "There's a bunch of stuff already on this. Is this stuff you need to keep?" And I look at it, and I'm like, "Oh shit! It's the entire contents of my life from 2005 to like 2009. Hell yeah, I want to keep this." And so I threw everything in there into a big zip file. I just called it random stuff from flash drive.zip, and I have guarded that thing for years. I still have it. So it's got all my old shit on it. You know, among the files is AOLfavorites.txt. So this was all an incredibly long story for me to say that I still have my favorites list from 2005. And so I was looking through that earlier to see if there was any interesting stuff that I could do for Random Crap Week, like did I have any old games saved in there? And I did. And not a damn one of them works. Every one of those links is dead. Which I shouldn't be surprised by because it's been fucking 20 years. But it's disappointing. Because, you know, I'm fine with just doing Flash games and stuff, but if I had an opportunity to do something weirder, I would have liked to. And one of the games that I was especially looking forward to trying was a thing called Peekaboom. But I knew that there was basically no hope for that one, and I think I've talked about this game at some point in the past. Peekaboom was a game that actually was made specifically to help machine learning. It was... I don't remember exactly how it worked, but it would kind of, like, pair people off. Like, anybody who just happened to be playing the game at the time would, it would, you know, randomly find a match for you. And it would, like, show one person an image along with a word that was supposed to describe either the entire image or part of it. And the other person didn't see the image at all. They just saw like a black square. But the person who did see the image would click on parts of the square to like uncover it. It would just like reveal those little spots to the other person. And so your goal was to get them to guess the word by uncovering as little of the image as possible. And so the point was, you know, it was a game, but it existed to also help with, like, I think search engine stuff. It would basically, like, it would help AI. I know AI is in its current state is, you know, relatively new, but, you know, whatever you want to call it, like, you know, obviously it's been developing for a really long time. It would help it, like, you know, what parts of the image were the relevant ones or whatever. It was a cool game. It doesn't exist anymore. There were a few other ones made by the same people. If you wanna look into it, there is documentation on this stuff on the internet. If you just look up Peekaboom game, you should be able to find like some college articles on it. There's like some screenshots, and the people who made it made a few other games, and I don't remember the names of them. I think one of them was Faster, Fastr. Miss Girl. It's a good name. But yeah, that was cool stuff. All that's gone. There were some other random Flash games that were just on like JS games. Those no longer work. You know, I don't know how many years ago it's been at this point, but it's been a while. There was a point where I did a stream of the Enigma puzzle, which was a game similar to Not Prawn. I can't really do much with that. Even if I did, it would be like probably just repeating the stuff that I already did in the stream. Well, guess who's about to get fucked over, buddy? It's you! Or no, because you can just turn around. Never mind. Anyway, I at least, I had a story there. It felt nice. I haven't had a good story in a while where I just got to ramble about something and have it turn into like 3 other stories in the process and just have it go on for a long time like that. I've been feeling for a long time like I've basically run out of material. Like I've told every interesting story in my life, aside from the poopy ones that you can't know about. This is my favorite part of the game, by the way, is when you get really big and you don't need to, like, you know, I trapped this guy for basically no fucking reason. I ruined this guy's day. I mean, not really, but, you know, I ruined his game at least. I didn't do it for any strategic reason. Like, oh boy, wow, look at all that food I got. Didn't matter. It's just fun to bully people. That's basically what I've learned from this game is, there's 2 things. There's, oh, it's in the bin! And then there's just, it's fun to bully people. At this point, because I've gotten a, you know, this has been a pretty good run. I'm probably not going to do another run after this. I'd like to keep this one going for as long as I can, but, there's 2 ways this is going to end. With boredom, and I'm just like, I've been playing this game for a fucking hour, and I can't get higher than rank 10. Or I'm just going to die to some stupid shit and be like, well, that sucked. So join me for day 5. I will tell you, I'll tell you what my plan for day 5 was and no longer is. And it's a little disappointing. And I'm going to tell you this because there's a chance I still might do it at some point anyway. It just won't be part of the Random Crap Week. But, way back in the day, before I had the laptop or any of that stuff, this was like 2003 probably, I came across a particular website that I think is still somewhat well known amongst internet veterans, ezone.com, and they had Flash games, and they had a mascot character, Lenny Loosejocks, which I named my Golden Go after because he looks fucking identical. I don't think Lenny Loosejocks is obscure necessarily, but I don't know if I'd call him well known either. It's one of those, like, you kind of had to be there if you were using the internet in the early 2000s and played Flash games, you might have known who this guy was. It's like how, there's Henry Stickmin. I don't know who Henry Stickmin is, but I know the name. I think that one is like a more modern Flash game mascot. But yeah, so Lenny Loose Jocks is just like this random Australian dude. And he had a few different games, and the major ones were Lenny Goes Walkabout and Lenny in Space. And I wanted to do at least one of those, because I haven't played them since they were new, basically. It's been over 20 years. I remember fucking nothing of these games. I never beat Lenny in Space, but I did beat the other one by using a walkthrough. And so I'm like, do these games still exist? And yes and no. They exist on Steam for $20 each, because apparently they wanted to make a third game, and this is their way of kind of crowdfunding it, is charging for the first two. And, you know, I'm sort of on board with that, but I always feel like, you know, such a cheap bastard by not wanting to pay for games, but it's like, I don't want to drop $30, or when I say 30, I don't want to drop $20 on this old Flash game. Even if it would be kind of cool if they made another one. You know, I'm not super attached to the character or whatever. If this was like a Homestar thing, then sure. But the games probably exist on Flashpoint, if I had to guess. I just haven't looked into it because I don't think I actually have Flashpoint on this computer. The only times I've ever used it were during random streams with Joel on his computer. So basically I was lazy, is where I'm going. Oh, this guy's about to get fucked. I'm Groot, more like you're dead. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, I sure showed him. What does that say? Aishitaru Allen? More like Alan dead. That's right, I still got it. I cannot believe this run is still going. At this point, this video is just entirely me talking about shit. But yeah, so I'm not doing Lenny Loose Jocks. I could find out if it's on Flashpoint, and if it is, I will probably do videos on them at some point. I just don't want to do it for this particular, like, event, if we're calling it that. And, yeah, I haven't really had a ton of other ideas. It would have been cool to find some other old obscure shit, but it was not meant to happen. I will say I've been kind of enjoying making these, actually. It's the type of thing where it's like I definitely couldn't do this often. And especially now that I've kind of gone through more of this list of like things that are personally relevant to me, there is a finite amount of material I can cover here without just getting into like, hey, people suggested I try out this game, let's see what this is like. I liked the more personal nature of these. Yeah, it's been fun. What I was saying is it's been fun doing them. I unfortunately can't do it all the time. I would not be able to keep it up. Playing chicken with the worms like that is always a very dangerous proposition, because it's hard to tell exactly how the game is going to treat who lives and who dies. Like, if there's a head-on collision between two worms, I'm pretty sure only one of them dies. If they're angled slightly, then I think it's just whichever one hit, like, closer to the front of their face. So it's like, when you're racing side by side like that, you can try to swerve in front of them and get the kill, but it's very risky. Honestly, because I want this video to end soonish, I might just kind of go for it anyway. Hick up Apple Nod, what the hell? Yeah, I'm, you know, definitely repeating myself here, but, for anybody who really likes the solo content and the rambly stuff, I understand. I like being able to do rambly stuff too. I just, you know, I've been doing this shit for so long, I don't have enough stories. I've told everything that is interesting. At least most of it. Every once in a while I might think of some stuff, like what I just, you know, was rambling about with the fucking coffee can flash drive, but if we're calling that interesting, then we might be getting a little desperate. For me to have interesting stories, I need to do shit, and I don't really do shit. I barely even go to work. And I go to work, and I get pissed off by customers, and then I come home, and I usually just hang out with them for a bit. And that is my life. I don't remember if I've mentioned this in a stream recently, but before I started doing the Random Crap Week stuff here, there was a day where I just kind of stopped and thought for a second, and I'm like, I don't know when the last time I played a game other than FF14 is, aside from stuff that I'm doing for the channel. And that was a few weeks ago that I thought that, and that's still true. I just kind of don't really play games anymore, and it's kind of sad. I don't really know why it is. It's not even a case of just, like, I don't play new stuff. It's like, no, I'm not really replaying old stuff much either. I just have to be in the mood. And the stupid thing is, when I do get in the mood for it, it's always the same shit. Like, the last couple days, I'm just like, I want to go through Diddy Kong Racing again. It's like, I've played through that game like fucking 10 times. I could use something new. Hey, if I want to do Diddy Kong Racing, I could do, like, Crash Team Racing instead, and, like, you know, actually get a new experience. In fact, I might actually do that. I've talked myself into potentially trying that. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, I just have fallen into this habit of, like, always preferring to watch other people play stuff than actually play it myself. Why do you have a skin that's just a bunch of sloths holding hearts? Oh boy. Okay. That is not my body on the left there. I have to be careful. Is there any way I can track this person here? I see we've got the, fuck off. Okay, this is how the run ends, is my mouse was, like, I was trying to move up and it didn't seem to want to work. That was stupid. Oh, just as well. The, video was running longer than I thought it would anyway. I don't think I had any other stories to continue. I basically said all I wanted to. Yeah, I guess, got one more of these, and then you can continue to not watch my videos for another 5 years or something, I don't know. One more thing while I'm thinking about it. While I was looking through the random stuff from Flash Drive earlier, I came across Dexter.jar, which is my old Pokedex Java thing that I had to make for school. When I say had to make, I mean we had to make a Java program of some description, and this is what I made. Now you may notice that you can't fucking read it because I chose to make it a bright red background, and it looks like ass. It hurts your eyes. But this has every Pokemon from Gen 1 through 4. You can navigate with the arrows, you can do this, or you can type in a name. And each one of these also has buttons that you can pull up. Do like... It's got all that stuff. It's got a stats page. Let me do... Let's see, what's one with like very... with shuffle, because its stats are kind of crazy. It doesn't have anything visual, but yeah. And then the breeding page, it does a search for everything else that also has the same egg group, and lists those. And yeah, that's basically it. There's supposed to be images, the front and back sprites. I don't know why they're not working. They're probably just not saved in the same folder as the jar, or maybe it still being in a zip file is messing with it somehow, but yeah. I made this thing, when was this? I guess this would have been 2007, I think? Late 2006? I don't remember. Obviously it was shortly after Gen 4 came out. And yeah, it was probably the most advanced one in the class. I don't remember what anybody else made. It did take like fucking 20 minutes to actually open though, because I programmed this thing like shit. I don't know how to do Java anymore. I have long forgotten how to do it. But basically when I made this thing, like, you know, I created a Pokemon object type, or whatever you want to call it, which could have, you know, all these different traits, and so it would kind of like establish all of the 493 Pokemon with their traits, and it would have to load all of that before it loaded the program, and so it would take forever, and that is not how you should do that. So yeah, I don't know, but I just figured I'd show this off. It was just kind of a thing that was somewhat almost interesting, not really.